Hook the myth. When you hear Air Force Civil Engineer, you probably picture construction helmets, bulldozers, and building stuff. It's a simple, straightforward image. But what if I told you that picture isn't just incomplete? It's not even half the story. What if I told you that saying a civil engineer, or CE, just builds things, is like saying a heart surgeon just cuts people open? The reality is a complex, high-stakes world where these airmen lead two massive, parallel missions. One of those missions is like running a multi-million-dollar city, and the other involves rebuilding a bombed-out airfield, sometimes while under enemy fire. The real story of an Air Force civil engineer is far more demanding, and far more critical to projecting American air power than you could possibly imagine. Introduction: the reality. The career field of Air Force civil engineering is really defined by a fundamental split, two sides of the same coin that demand completely different skill sets. One side is the in-garrison mission at their home station, where they're the backbone of the entire installation. The other is the deployed mission, where they become expeditionary warriors, enabling the Air Force to fight from anywhere on the planet. To really get what a civil engineer does, you have to understand both missions. An Air Force base isn't just a collection of buildings and runways, it's a living weapon system. And civil engineers are the ones who plan, build, maintain, and defend it. This isn't just about construction, it's about making sure the United States Air Force can fly, fight, and win. And it all starts from the ground up. Section 1. The first mission. The city managers. Let's start with the mission that takes up most of their time: the home station. Picture a small city, with thousands of people, an airport, a power plant, water systems, roads, and hundreds of buildings. Now, imagine you're in charge of all of it. That's the day-to-day reality for an Air Force civil engineer. At home, they are essentially the public works directors, city planners, and construction managers for a huge, complex community. This responsibility is enormous. We're not just talking about fixing a leaky faucet. We're talking about the planning, operation, and maintenance of the Air Force's most important weapon system, its installations. This includes everything. The runways and taxiways that multi-million-dollar aircraft use have to be flawless. The electrical grids powering sensitive command centers can't fail. The HVAC systems in critical facilities, the water and fuel systems that keep the mission going, the housing for thousands of airmen and their families, it all falls on civil engineering. This is a constant battle, as a significant portion of Air Force infrastructure is aging, with many utilities and facilities operating under moderate to high risk. This means CE officers and enlisted leaders are constantly managing multi-million-dollar modernization projects to ensure the base stays resilient against everything from natural disasters to cyber attacks. An Air Force civil engineer officer, who usually has a degree in a field like civil, electrical, or mechanical engineering, isn't just designing blueprints. They are a manager of immense complexity. They lead teams of military and civilian personnel, oversee huge contracts, and are responsible for the strategic vision of the base's future. Supporting this leadership is a diverse team of enlisted experts, each a master of their trade. At the heart of it all are the operations management specialists, AFSC 3E6X1, who act as the nerve center for the entire squadron. They coordinate all the work, from start to finish, and make sure the right people and materials get to the right place at the right time. They are the essential link between a work request and a finished job. Working with them, you have engineering assistants AFSC 3E5X1, who are the brains behind the build. They perform the critical surveying, drafting, and planning that turns an idea into a real project. You've got the Dirt Boys, the famous nickname for pavements and construction equipment operators, AFSC 3E-X1, who literally move mountains to build and repair runways and roads. There are structures specialists, AFSC 3E-3X1, who handle everything from framing and masonry to welding and finishing, constructing and modifying every part of a building from the foundation up. Then you have all the utility specialists, electrical system specialists, AFSC 3E-0X1, install and maintain everything from airfield lighting to the power grid that keeps command centers online. Water and fuel systems maintenance technicians, AFSC-3E for X1, manage the base's water supply, wastewater, and the critical distribution systems for aircraft fuel. And HVAC or R technicians, AFSC-3E1X1, install and repair the heating and cooling systems that are vital for both people and mission-critical electronics. Together, this team doesn't just maintain a base. They ensure it is a lethal and resilient platform for projecting air power. Every single bolt they tighten, every project they manage, every system they upgrade is directly tied to the Air Force's ability to launch aircraft at a moment's notice. This is the foundational mission, the one that makes everything else possible. Transition. But that's only half the job. That's what they do to keep their skill honed, ready for their real mission, and ensure our established bases are ready. What happens when the Air Force needs to project power where there is no base? What happens when there are no runways, no power, and no shelter? That's when the second mission kicks in, and the city manager has to become a combat engineer. Section 2. The second mission, the combat engineer. When it's time to deploy, the whole mindset shifts. The enemy is no longer just an aging power grid or a tight budget. It's the clock, the terrain, and often, an actual adversary. This is the expeditionary side of civil engineering, where the main job is to establish, sustain, and recover airbases anywhere in the world, under any conditions. This is where you hear the insider terms that define the CE combat spirit: Prime Beef and Red Horse. First, let's talk about Prime Beef. It stands for Prime Base Engineer Emergency Force. This isn't just a clever name, it's a core concept. Every civil engineer in the Air Force, from the newest airman to the senior officer, is part of a Prime Beef team. These are the regular CEs doing their daily jobs, but they're organized, trained, and equipped to deploy in short timelines to respond to a crisis. Think of them as the Rapid Response Force. They're the specialists who can deploy to a bare patch of dirt and get the essentials running so aircraft can land and operate. This means setting up everything from emergency airfield lighting and aircraft arresting systems to tent cities and basic utilities. Their most critical wartime skill is rapid airfield damage repair, or RADAR. When a runway gets hit, a Prime Beef team is trained to clear debris and repair the damage in a matter of hours, letting jets get back in the fight with minimal downtime. They are the force that beefs up a bare base and keeps it running under pressure. But what if you don't just need to repair a runway? What if you need to build an entire airfield from scratch in a remote, hostile place? For that, the Air Force calls in the heavy hitters, Red Horse. Red Horse stands for Rapid Engineer Deployable Heavy Operational Repair Squadron Engineer. These units are the Air Force's answer to the Navy's Seabees. A Red Horse squadron is a self-sufficient, mobile force of about 400 people, capable of taking on major construction projects on their own, often in high-threat locations. They bring everything they need to operate for a long time, from their own heavy equipment to their own security, medical, and food service personnel. Their capabilities are massive. They can move tons of earth, build concrete and asphalt runways, drill for water, operate quarries, and build huge structures that can serve as anything from hangars to hospitals. They're the ones who turn a patch of nothing into a fully functional forward operating base. Woven into all of this are two of the most high-stakes jobs in the entire military, and both fall under the CE umbrella. First is fire protection, AFSC-3E7X1. Air Force firefighters do more than just fight building fires. They are specialists trained for everything from wildland fires to, most critically, aircraft crashes involving burning jet fuel and hazardous materials. When a fighter jet goes down on the flight line, they are the ones running toward the danger. And then there is explosive ordnance disposal, or EOD AFSC-3E8X1. These are the technicians who face the most immediate threats on the battlefield. They're responsible for locating, identifying, disarming, and disposing of all types of explosive hazards, from unexploded bombs to EEs. When a runway is attacked, it's the EOD team that goes out first to clear unexploded ordnance so the Prime Beef team can safely start repairs. They are an essential part of the CE mission. making the ground safe enough for everyone else to do their job. Conclusion: so, what does an Air Force civil engineer really do? Yes, they build things. But they are also the strategic managers of infrastructure worth billions. They are the city planners for communities of thousands. They are the first responders running toward a burning aircraft on the flight line. They are the combat engineers carving airfields out of the wilderness. And they are the EOD techs walking toward a bomb to disarm it. They operate in two completely different worlds, one of structured, long-term planning, and another of rapid, high-stakes crisis response. They are a diverse team of officers and enlisted airmen, with dozens of specialties, all united by a single purpose: to build, maintain, and defend the platforms from which the Air Force projects its power. While the pilots and their jets may get the glory, they fly from runways built and repaired by civil engineers. They are guided by power grids installed by civil engineers. And they operate from bases sustained and defended by civil engineers. This career is about so much more than construction. It's about being the very foundation of the United States Air Force. Call to action if you were surprised by the true scope of this job. Let us know in the comments which mission you found more interesting: the city managers at home, or the combat engineers deployed abroad. And if you're thinking about joining, you'll definitely want to check out our video on what to expect in basic training. Or if you're still deciding which branch is right for you, we've got a detailed breakdown comparing the Army vs the Air Force. For more deep dives into the military careers you only thought you knew, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next one.